Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. On a typical Justice Choir Sunday, it would have been a day that was bustling with activities at church. It would have been in a week that was bustling with activities at church. We would have served Wednesday lunch. We would have given clothing out to women through Martha's Closet. We might have had a coordinated missions committee or a food initiatives task force meeting. We might have served lunch at Mary's place. There would have been so much going on, so many ways to serve. In addition, we would have been out and about in our community, seeing the needs in our larger community and knowing that we wanted to respond to those needs. We would have come together on this Justice Choir Sunday with spring in the air, feeling hopeful about new possibilities, changes that can happen when people who want to make a difference put their mind to it to make that difference. All that feels really different this year. Not only is the church building not bustling, we're not even meeting together. We're not even singing together today. We're not out and about in our community, and even though it's spring, we may not be feeling terribly renewed and hopeful. It's a difficult time. And so how do we sing about justice in times like this? Certainly COVID-19 has, in fact, highlighted some very real injustices. Workers whose jobs are essential, but who have no sick time, no health insurance, and are paid barely minimum wage. Racism in our healthcare system causing an infection and death rate in people of color to be astronomically higher than that of white people. Poor people having far fewer choices when it comes to affording goods and services that allow for comfortable and effective sheltering in place. Incarcerated people being so vulnerable to the virus in our overcrowded prisons. People living in unsafe, violent homes who are now trapped in them without safe places to retreat to and supportive people who can listen and help. So how do we sing about justice today? We're weary and tired and overwhelmed. Well, it was just 2 months ago that Central hosted the 9th annual Vocal Point concerts with the Flobots as our headliner. Getting to meet and talk with and sing with these incredibly fine musicians and even more tremendously wonderful humans was a highlight for me, for sure. They've dedicated their lives to singing about and working for justice. One of the lyrics in their song, Fight with Tools, is, "We need heroes, build them. Don't put your fist up, fill them. Fight with our hopes and our hearts and our hands. We're the architects of our last stand." I've been reflecting a bit on that because in addition to hearing about all the injustices that have been highlighted by COVID-19, we've also been hearing a whole lot about heroes. Heroes that are coming to us from places we may not have looked before. Delivery drivers and school bus drivers, healthcare workers of all sorts, restaurant owners who are figuring out how to feed their neighbors when everything is different, teachers who have reinvented their craft in a very short time, and parents who are juggling more than they ever thought possible. Childcare workers and homeless shelter staff, grocery store clerks and food plant workers. We need heroes. Build them. So how do we build them? Well, we honor them, we name them, and we work as hard for their humanity as we do for our own. We fight with our hopes and our hearts and our hands, and today, our voices. We do it when life is bustling and we are busy with important things to do, and we do it now when life is scary and there are even more important things to do. We're going to end our time together this morning with 2 songs. We'll hear the Flobots sing Fight with Tools, but first a song inspired by it, written by 17-year-old Emma Beckler, sung by Vocal Point and the Creative Arts Secondary School in St. Paul. We need heroes. Build them. These are some of mine.